Okay, so I just needed to make sure that that the holes in this gasket line up, and so it looks like there's just one way for that to happen, and so just find it. That's all. No biggie. Now, what I want to do is just drop this, lower this into the tank. So I'm going to do it kind of carefully. I keep that gasket in place, and I'm going to lower into there. I'm going to drop you down like that. Okay. All right. Now, that says to me that probably there's an orientation on this sending unit that I have to find with the screws, and so I'm going to do that, and then just replace the screws, and then I'll pop this signal wire back on there, and we'll be done. So that's it. I'd have to say that this fuel sending unit is a bit of a pain. The gasket that came with the new one is pretty thick, really thick actually, and I tried to tighten the screws. I couldn't even get the screws started, so couldn't finish assembling this unit. So what I'm going to do is I was careful when I scraped off this old gasket, so I'm going to keep it. I'm going to beef it up just a little bit and make sure there's a decent seal with, this happens to be Permatex, but it's the red high temperature stuff. I'm using it because as I remember, it dries soft. And so I just want this beefed up a little bit, but I don't want it to be hard and brittle when I take it off sometime. I guess, I don't know if I'll be around next time this sender unit is replaced, but you never know, right? It'll make it easier for somebody to do that. There's a little, so I'm just going to move that around the holes, you know, those, get it spread using my fingers, for crying out loud. Get it spread around on there. Okay. And I did keep my hands off that sensor for sure. And then get it touching, get it upside down. You get out of the way, float. And just line up those screw holes. Just line them up a little bit. That'll make it stick in there, you know. Seal it. Now, on this side, I'm just going to do the same thing. So, just light. I don't want too much. I don't want too much there. Big glob? I don't want that glob either. You get down there. Why is there a glob? Okay. I'm clumsy today. I cut my nails. Little personal hygiene info, maybe TMI. Well, going out New Year's Eve, I'm looking at my nails thinking, this is not good. I look like a hillbilly with my greasy fingernails and hands. Nothing wrong, no insult to you hillbillies listening, but didn't want to embarrass Christine. I'm going to take this with me. I'm going to wipe around the tank, and then I'm going to just press this down. I'm going to put the screws in. Wait, I think they say, what did they say? Wait like 30 minutes or something like that. Blah, 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 blah. It's still wet, but 1 hour, then tighten. So I'll let it sit for a little bit and just touch and harden up or whatever it does. Firm up, and then I'll do that. I'll tighten them right down. I kind of want to get this in so nothing drops in the tank. All right, so what I'm going to do next is get in here and strip this. It looks like electrical tape, I guess, but anyway, strip that off this group of wires. And I'm going to look for the one that broke. It's only a few inches there, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'm going to start here. I don't have to. I know it's not there, but I'm going to start there because I think I can see these wires and I'm not going to make a mistake and cut into any. That's the plan anyway. And I'm looking for the wire that is going to the fuel sensor or the fuel level sending in it. I went with a different plan, so I was going to come in from down here. I started there, and I'm like, all right, I think the way I'm going to have to replace it is up here. That wasn't coming that well, so I just carefully started. Well, first of all, I freed up this wire. It was supported here into this frame piece, and then I took my knife. It's pretty sharp. And I just went really carefully, like I didn't press, I just worked away at one little spot, well cleaned a little spot on the electrical tape, and then I just lightly went back and forth parallel to the group of wires. And I just didn't want to cut in. I freed up just a little corner of some electrical tape, then pulled it back. I'm trying not to move these wires very much because I think they're kind of brittle. Like I think they are the way they want to be, and I don't want to cause any more problems for myself. So what I've done here, I've got this exposed now. This is well, somebody's made a connection on this before, but my brake is just a little frayed part there, and there's my wire. I don't actually want to bend it too much. I'm going to try and just ease it out if I can. I'm going to go a little further down, which is sort of toward the back of the tractor, I guess, that way, and see if I can just free that wire up without disturbing the others and maybe ruining more of it. I imagine it's not that bad. I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to wiggle this piece back and forth just to see how brittle it is. It's not that bad. Well, let me see. No, that's actually pretty good. I'm not sure if you can see that, Jim, but yeah, so it didn't break, so that gives me a little confidence. Maybe it broke just because that's a point that's been wiggling and shaking for, well, 40 years. Okay, so that's my next plan, to get that wire exposed and get a connector on it. Okay, I've made the connection, and this is an old trailer wire. It's a little light, I think, but the reason I'm using it is that's what I have. So if it doesn't work, I'll have to swap it out, but it's from some trailer wiring that my father-in-law gave to me a while ago. Just a bunch of rough wire, but it should be all right. I'm all set to go to heat shrink now. I'll just move this up, and there we are. I just put a piece of aluminum in there to try and block some of the heat. Could use an electric heater, I guess, but I don't have one, so I'm using a propane torch, and I'm just going to go really gentle on there. So yeah, I made the connection, hot glue on either side, and I'm ready to just shrink it down and then run the other end up to the fuel sending unit. There's that connection made, and I've just got it running rough before I button things up. I want to see if it actually works. And get it right. Okay, there's the connection on the sending unit. So yeah, let's go to the cab and check and see if that gauge is going to respond to the fuel in the tank. Okay, there's that gauge. Now the key, one turn or one click, second click, and needles dropping. I don't know how much is actually in the tanks. I know there's some in this top fuel tank, and which means the other one's full. I'm gonna have to check the capacity of these tanks. I'm not exactly sure. So, are we there? It looks like we're at 3/4 on the top tank. All right, so that's great. Looks like the sending unit's repaired. Now all I have to do is button it up. We'll go have a look at that. Finishing this up means I'm gonna put some tape, I guess, around the this bunch of wires that I exposed, and this bit down here too, I guess. I'll find a way to secure this with tie wraps. I left it kind of loose. My brother-in-law always said that wires are like people; they don't like to be stressed, right? So you leave it a little bit floppy in places, and then secure it. Then it can wiggle around a little bit without wearing out, maybe. I'm probably going to I got some rubber here. I'm probably going to put some rubber just on this supporting frame member. That's all that is. It's not. There's nothing to it other than that, and so that these wires can sort of rub away and not get damaged. And then I cut tie wraps along here. I'm going to put those guys back. All right, so I'm ready to just finish this up. All I've got left is, well, let's see what I've done. I put some zip ties in here. Put a little rubber strips here. I just cut them from an old pond liner. And I've been doing that for a while on equipment, just wherever there's wiring or anything that needs protection. I try and stick a little piece of rubber around the rubbing parts, and that seems like it's pretty good. So I've got it was kind of tricky to get that covered in electrical tape, but anyway, I did, and I've got the new connection kind of secured and zip tied to this big body of wire. And I've got pond liner and then zip tied to this frame member. And I guess the last thing I gotta do is just, let's see, install this bracket.